Good morning, folks. Welcome to another sunny day building Ivy. In this, then I have done something a bit different. I've actually brought you right up to date at the end. Um, if you want to jump through to the to just what exactly is going on with that second that black valve and stuff, then I'll put a timestamp below so you can get to that. The rest of it is just my putting in the shower, which I did just before I left the marina. So I've always had a shower available, but I will bring you right up to date at the end with the results of a few problems that I've had and so on and so forth. So have fun. So here I am getting to work on the outflow pipe. This comes up from the whale gulper, and there I am realizing that it's going to be a little bit difficult to actually attach it to the to the outflows themselves, but just because I can't do up the Jubilee clip. So after a little bit of thinking, then I managed to get a jigsaw in to widen these. I really don't know what a better solution is for attaching the outflows. Clearly, there's obviously a better way of doing it. I don't know. All of mine are pretty awful looking if you can see them, but fortunately you never can. So I guess maybe they all look bad and I just haven't ever seen them because that's what happens to everybody. But anyway, as you can see, I cut out a bit of the wall so that I could get to the Jubilee clips. And yeah, so there we are. There's me reaching through. This is a suction pipe that I'm figuring out how to attach to. Well, this is going onto the inflow of the pump that is hidden behind the wall there. I will get to explaining that a little later. As you can see, well, basically it was about the same size as the spigots on the of the fittings for this for various things. So I was able to actually just put some PTFE tape around it, and then this is the outflow from that pump, which I'm putting into a bit of my pipe work. So this is, as you can see, marked up as a cold pipe, but it's the outflow from one of the showers going into the pump, and then anyway, well, we'll come to that later. But it all seemed to look like it's going to fit okay, and things, and the pump itself has got to the fittings are just sort of butterfly fittings. So I went and well, you can see that I'm doing it from this side as much as anything to prove that I can, and that was important to me so that I know that it does actually, that it is maintainable. That's my little secret door that goes. I slide through to the other side, and then I've realised that I've got to make a cutout for that pipe, which I've now done, cut out at the top, and so that all goes on. And yeah, there's a cutout needed in this bit of wall as well. This is the second skin. So there we go. And then I get to well, I decided that I needed to take this off one last time, and that was because I've got to pump the other side of it, so I wanted to put some sound deadening material. And around this point, then a washing machine and two friends turned up, which was very helpful to move it around.
It doesn't work. Have you locked it?
No.
No, I don't think we should move it. I think this is a really bad idea. I think it's in place. I think we should leave it right there.
We did manage to move the machine back so that they could get an action shot.
Job's good.
Thank you, Karen and Karen. As you can see, we took the wall down, then put it back up. They were helpful in other ways. This is my the corner beading, and as you can see, I've put some screws in here, not the red ones, the green ones, because literally just to straighten up that piece of 19mm ply that's a wall. Karen and Karen were very helpful with a number of different things. They helped with a bit of the cutting the bit of the floor and a bit of the kitchen, and cutting the shower wall stuff. And well, I'm pretty sure that this isn't anything highly unusual. So I'm just putting in the gunk that you get told to use. I am noticing that when I've put this in, then I've obviously put the sealant down all of the all of the aluminium extrusions. Just me figuring out how often to put these bonding things. It looks like I didn't put anything on the shower tray itself. That flexi seal behind the black strip at the bottom, that will stop any water, but I am quite surprised that I'm not seeing myself put any silicone on the shower tray itself to support these walls. I honestly, I think I might have even put something there before I put the walls on and let it dry overnight. But anyway, just a very thin bead. But I honestly can't tell you. I used my props because that was a good way of keeping the things flat to allow them to set stuck to the walls. Well, I was starting to figure out where to drill these holes. So I drilled them from the back with a pilot hole. Then I went round to the front and drilled them with my hole saw. People tell me that actually the way to do this is to put this in before you put your shower wall up. I didn't have any or sufficient faith in my ability to put everything in and measure everything and have it all be right, because this is the first time I've ever done a shower. So this is what I did. Now, it is not recommended or whatever, but this is what I did, and it has worked out okay for me. It's meant that I have been able to get everything where I wanted it. Obviously you could see at the back, then I'm avoiding cross members and things. So if I was just a little bit off, then it would have been a problem. And there's me checking out that black valve again. It'll come back. It'll come back. As you can see, the shower tray is now stuck to the floor. I put that in with Karen and Karim, and I just put some a really decent daub of the silicone-y type stuff. I can't remember whether I used OB1, probably something like that. Decent amounts of that underneath, and then I did up the shower wastes that I had put in last time in the video a couple of weeks ago. So I'm just preparing the various things for this enclosure, reading the instructions, trying to get it right first time, and so I don't think there's anything that I'm doing special here. I decided that the best way of kind of getting it right was to tape it up and sort of temporarily, just to kind of get everything to line up, and then I knew where everything was going to be. And I had also put on the floor, I obviously missed it in the videoing, but the bottom rail is siliconed on, and so I just drilled holes for everything, and then when I was confident everything was going to line up, then I just slackened everything off and stuck some gunk behind it and put everything back on. Really, I'm not sure that there's anything grand that I can tell you about what I did here. I don't think I did anything special, though I did have a couple of minor leaks that were very difficult to identify, I found. Here I am just screwing everything back on whilst the sealant is still wet, so that it all sets up, and obviously attaching everything whilst everything's wet, so that it all is sat and weighted and squishes properly and attaches properly, hopefully to avoid the leaks. But as I say, there were a couple of leaks which only occur when the boat is not level. So it took a while to find them, mainly because most of the time you are level. Fortunately, through the winter, then they let the water levels drop, which put me on at a severe angle and meant that there was a little bit of a leak. When I initially put the doors on, then when they closed up together, then I thought, oh my god, it's a disaster. I'll never get that much gap to square up or whatever. But with the adjustment screws that are available, then actually it all did up and it closes nicely, and I was quite pleased with it. But yeah, so anyway, that's about it really. I don't think there's a lot more to be said. I mean, there's a few bits of plastic that you have to put in just to finish it off and make it look pretty. I guess this bit is actually more than aesthetic. It seals the edge of the glass down into the frame. But anyway, moving on to present day, jumping over the washing machine. This has become a bit like yoga. This is now the grand reveal. Taking open my secret door, I will show you what everything's going on. So this is what's through the secret door. As I say, I can get to that pump, the ends of this pump, to change it if I want to. and there are some screws obviously down either side of it, but they'll be awkward, but they are get-atable. This is the second pump, and this is the waste from the shower, second waste. This comes up, goes into that pump, comes up, out, and to this pipe. So this is pumping up the water that's been over me once. So this will form the cold feed of the second shower, and this is a fresh hot for adding in more hot water to that mixer. And so much like a bath, then you just can use your own water that's still hot. Having not videoed the fitting of the freshwater shower, then I will do a better job of showing you what's going on with this recirculating shower. I drilled from the front as on this one because that was what was kind of relevant. I knew where things were because I had the first shower to measure off, and now I'm working out that I need a piece of wood of a particular size to mount the, I don't know, shower mounting bracket. I don't know, the thing that turns the water flow 90 degrees. So I'm putting some pocket holes into the side of it because those will be my way of attaching this to the cross members and things. So the same as before, drilling from both sides meant that I could get through both sheets of ply. My hole saw isn't deep enough to go through both sheets, but also it means that you end up with a better finish. Once the drill has gone through the middle, of course, then you're able to then know exactly where it is. So you can see that I'm just lining up and I have got it just right. This is going to go right on the edge of that bit of wood. So I will attach that there. And that is, I guess, what people would normally do. You notice that I've got some thinner cover plates, I don't know what they're called, than would have been had before, because I need to pull this back, and the other ones that I had wouldn't allow me to pull it back. I did this for both of them, I replaced both of them. So I was just putting a bit of a spacer in there to get it to all line up, and then I put some pocket holes in and some other bits there. So that is now very secure, it's not moving, and that meant that I can then get on and finish off the plumbing. So you know, I can get to all of the valves, all of the connections with this method of fixing. I'm just using my Uponor Q&E system to put in the final connections to the valve itself. I think that's the only actual 90-degree fitting I've put into the boat. I've just been bending the pipes otherwise, because it's that sort of pipe. I'm allowed to, I can. Obviously I sealed around the edge of the or around the protrusions that come through the wall, and yeah, then I worked out where to put this second shower head. It's a bit lower, it's kind of designed not to go over my head. Don't worry folks, I'm not about to get undressed, but I just thought it was kind of a useful thing to have me in the shower. So you can see that this, I have to tilt it kind of a bit of an angle to get it to come over to me, but I didn't want it sort of in the way for people that aren't me, that are just using the normal shower. So yeah, my 1 meter by 800 shower is something that I wanted, because 900 showers, then they stick out a lot longer, a lot further across. This wall is already as far back as I can get it, so it's this was my method of achieving a decent shower. One of the luxuries of land, I consider, is a good shower, or even a bath. So I wanted to try and achieve what I could. So this is my effectively everlasting hot shower. And yeah, so by having a 1 meter by 800 shower, that forced me to have a domestic full height enclosure and everything. I haven't found any that are shorter in height, so to allow me to lift the shower tray up off the floor, which meant that I had to bury the wastes. So they are pretty much unget-atable, which, you know, I do know that they don't leak, because I've checked from behind in my secret door there and stuff. So that's, you know, I'm confident that everything is okay. There was a lot of think across it as I did it. but you know, and that meant then consequently I was thinking about having valves and so on and so forth to recirculate water, but that meant that I was able to get this shower tray with two wastes in. So this is the gulper waste that goes straight out, and this one at the back here is the recirculating waste. I'm not sure whether I should have put those the other way around or not. Obviously one is a bit forward, one is a bit in, whatever. I honestly I'm not sure, and I think it's really difficult to tell. They do seem to work okay. I've got a couple of problems with well, the recirculating shower isn't working quite as well as I would like yet, to do with the bypass pressure in the pump, I think, and I think I will probably end up with a second switch here. The shower, the pump, the recirculating pump there does have a bypass in it, which means that it can run continuously instead of pulsing like a standard water pump on a narrowboat would do. So it's a sea flow, I think. Yeah, I don't have any filters apart from there is a filter before the pump. It doesn't seem to get anything in it, though I will probably end up running some sort of jacuzzi cleaner or whatever through that system periodically, because obviously it will end up with some soap and stuff and things in it. And I'll now show you the leaks that I had. So the leaks come out right here, and then they make the floor wet, and that's how I found out about them. They only happen when the boat is really keeled over. To ascertain what was going on, I mean, I checked all of this in here. This is and I've even had the entire shower off, and then resealed these edge pieces onto the walls. And right at the moment, then I've got a piece of sellotape, and the bottom is open, as you can see. So I know that actually this stops it. So it is water going in here, and then I think it is somehow getting on top of this piece of plastic in here. But there is nothing else that I could have done. It was the same on this side, and I've done everything. When I took it apart, then I put loads of sealant around that and stuff. I think it's just the way that this is designed, and when it's level, then no water ever comes out. So I think it is just that when you're on a boat, and you know, if literally I have been sat on the bottom at stupid angles, so I'm putting it down to that. I will probably replace this with some silicone that just goes there, yeah, I mean, you know, but I will leave the bottom open. I will definitely leave this bottom bit open so that if any water does get in, then it can, when it comes, its path is into the shower tray rather than out. That is, I understand, something that is important. So anyway, sorry, that was a bit of a long one. Certainly a lot of Jeremy waffle right at the end there. But I must get on with the day. Maybe I'll have a shower. Take care, everybody.